Okay, H5. Yeah, we back.
You starting the motherfucking song for the intro.
Okay, but we back though. Season 2, episode 2, episode 8, if you will. We 3-man weaving it because Luis he on bullshit. Anyways,
And we late too. We slight late. It's supposed to be out a Friday ago.
But
yeah,
we
That's all right though.
got lots to
Sometimes
that's
it's not about being on time. It's the fact that you even got there, you know? So
right, that makes sense to you?
I mean, we here though. So
all right, so where you want to jump off at?
We start in the end of the first round. Heat Bucks. Was it Heat Bucks? Yeah, Heat Bucks 5.
What was our predictions for that?
I want to say
I think we all said Bucks in 6.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
And he went out there and bust their ass.
Yeah, man.
Probably one of the best first round performances or playoff performances in general. I think he averaged 37 points per game in that series.
Yeah, that 50 bar was special though.
Put the team on his back. That's
yeah. I gotta apologize to playoff Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
Oh yeah, do that. Say you sorry and say what you sorry for. Yeah, I know you don't want to do it, bro. But go ahead.
I apologize to Jimmy Butler, Michael Jordan, long lost son. Every year I always say playoff Jimmy Butler does not exist because it just don't be existing sometimes. But he been proving me wrong, I guess. Shit. That man put the whole squad on his back, looked in Giannis' face and called him a punk. That shit crazy. But I apologize to Jimmy Butler. You are better than Paul George.
Yep, that's what we like to hear. That's a great start to accepting. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because like before we go to like the both teams, it's crazy that Jimmy does this every year because like he's consistently like one of the best players in the playoffs, but it's kind of hard to rank him as a player because like nobody has Jimmy Butler in their top 10. Nobody has Jimmy Butler in like they best players in the league. But you know he really do this shit every year, so it's I don't know if it's that real conversation, but
I mean he play a whole different game in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. In the regular season, he's all about like just foul baiting, getting to the free throw line, just cruising.
And now he still be doing some foul baiting.
He takes way more. I mean, the postseason.
Yeah, but yeah, the shot volume is way up. Like I think in the regular season, I think Tyler Hero usually shoot more than him.
Yeah, he did. I think.
But in the playoffs, that man Jimmy Butler, he'll put up 30 a game. He'll put up 30 shots a game.
Casual 32.
Yeah, and he'll find his spot more in the playoffs, and then in the regular season he don't even.
Shout out Kalo too, man. Kyle Lowry, he been.
Oh yeah.
When we get to the next series, he's been on his shit.
Yeah, I was hating on him last pod. I said if they wanted to win,
I think we had it on all their players, to be honest.
Yeah, we was hating for sure. We was calling Bam a fraud, I think.
Yeah, he still is though. He don't get his name. To me, his name Idris.
We'll talk about Bam when we get to that to the second round.
Yeah, to the Knicks. Yeah. We talk about the Bucks though.
To close out this series, let's jump to Game 5 because I think that was definitely the most contentious part of this series. That last inbound play where Jimmy got the tip in, and then Bud deciding not to call the timeout to advance the ball into the front court. They don't even get a shot up to close their season out. It's bad.
It's just bad coaching.
And we've known for a while that Bud is not one to make adjustments. Mm-hmm. But damn, that's really all I can say. Like that's
the no timeout is
coaching incompetence.
They had a timeout when Grayson Allen did that Euro, right? Yeah, like 2.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that just can't happen. And I actually, you know what? I'm gonna take up for him because he had that little situation like in actual life. So, you know what I'm saying. So hopefully he's straight. But that 2 timeout shit is wild because it's not even that they didn't get a shot. It's just who the ball went to. It's like I think Chris got it, and then he kind of played with it, and then he gave it to Grayson. It's like Grayson Allen has never been that player.
Giannis was on the ground the whole possession. He just on
So
the ground.
he got to be better because he got the free throw problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that caused the turnover to I don't know if it was in OT or before OT, where he almost threw the ball out of bounds, and Chris basically saved their season before it was over with. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the net series from a few years ago. It's like he's just damn near scared to go to the line. Like, and that shit can't happen if he's like gonna be the best in the league. And I'm not saying that he is or he isn't, but he got to be better from every aspect of the game because that shit was unacceptable for sure.
Y'all think next year?
But building off of that, Bot said he said Bud has some shit to deal with in real life. But thing is, like, I would have forgave it if it was just like one season. Like,
he has been on bullshit for sure.
But he been on bullshit for 3 seasons. Him winning that title delayed the inevitable. I think he should be fired. Cause he's been coaching really badly for not really badly, cause they still like a 60-win team every year, damn near. But he been coaching in the playoffs, just be making dumb decisions. It started in 2020 when they won the championship. 2021.
21.
Yeah, 21. When in the first round, when Bobby Portis is giving you the best non-Giannis minutes, right? And you don't want to play him at all. It was games where he got DNP'd for no real reason. And it started with that, and then against the Hawks, they lost some bad games due to just coaching in that run.
That was the Trae Young, when Trae Young and them that was the conference finals, right?
Yeah, and then Giannis went down or whatever.
That was a bad series for them.
But they was kind of just fumbling their way until they won a championship behind Giannis just being great, because he had like 250 balls in the finals.
Yeah, and I don't even want to be that nigga, bro. I really don't. But them niggas was not have been in that place if Kyrie didn't go down. So you know what I'm saying?
I mean, of course, but
right. I don't even want to get much into that because it's like they won it already, and it is what it is.
Yeah, they got lucky though. I mean, like not even
it's
like
luck in every championship though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like they just got lucky, and they converted on their opportunities. But there was some bad moments in that whole finals run, and then it's just been catching up to them since then. Even last year in the conference finals, they went to they was up 3-2, if I'm remembering.
Yep, against the C's.
Yeah, they was up 3-2 and failed to close out 2 elimination games. With
Game 7 in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was. I think so. Because I think that was the game. I think that Game 6 was the one where JT couldn't miss, and I think Game 7 they tried to close that at home.
And then Grant Williams. Grant Williams. He sniped them for like 8 threes, or he hit like 10 threes. And they didn't.
Yeah, that was that game.
Adjust to that. They ain't put nobody on him. They were just letting him shoot open threes, and then it was acting confused when that shit didn't work. But another thing about coaching is like, even when you say coaches don't make adjustments, like if you watch the game, they do. Like I seen people say, I guess we could get into that later. But yeah, just adjustments wise, I watched the whole series and Budenholzer was not really doing shit like drastically. I feel like you got to make drastic changes if you down. What, they was down 3-1.
Yeah.
If you down 3-1 to the 8 seed, you gotta. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to make drastic changes. It can't just be a little adjustment here and there. You gotta.
That's why I love Ty Lue, man.
That you don't like when Ty Lue do that. Yeah, see, you a funny guy, man.
No. Because you said about Budenholzer, he just had some shit happen with his family. Ty Lue
Oh
also has
yeah, that was.
family. So I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah, he
I'm
did.
thinking about it.
He did.
I'm just gonna chalk the bad year up to that. But yeah, this wasn't a good year for Ty Lue. It wasn't. But
And I think they got a lot of questions going back to the Bucks. I think we could kind of close it out. We done been on this for a minute, but they got a lot of questions. They're a championship team for sure. I think that like they've won a championship. We've seen them do it with this core, Giannis, Drew, and Chris. But I think you got to question Drew. I think you have to question Chris Middleton. Like you have to. Like I don't care about the injury. Like I get it. He's trying to find his rhythm. Like I understand what it's like. It's like as a player, trying to, especially because they were winning when he came in, and you don't want to mess up the flow. But it's like he's not an all-star. He's not. I don't think he's a good number 2 on a championship team right now. And I think his level of play has just like went down every year since they won a championship. And I don't want to give Drew too much like criticism because he's kind of always been this as a player. Like we see him in the playoffs. Like even when they won a ring, he was terrible in the net series. So it's like he's kind of, what you're gonna get from him. You're not gonna expect a whole lot. The 30-point games are cool when it happens, but I think they have to look at this roster and kind of be like, if we're gonna build around Giannis, we might have to switch some shit up.
them boys getting old too. They they all past their 30s.
I want to say Brooke and Chris are up for extension soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Brooke is.
You got to bring him back too. You don't really have a choice. They're over the cap.
Yep.
So this team's just going to continue to age.
What else? Oh, Drew Holiday also said there's that interview that
he was trying to retire.
Yeah, he said he's gonna retire and when his contract up. So I don't know how true that is. I feel like he's not actually gonna retire. But
how many years away is that? 3?
I mean, he seemed like one of them guys who won't really play for super long.
Or it's he signed that extension in 2021, so I think it's like 2 more years. But he yeah, I don't think I think he might actually retire after this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised, to be honest.
And he's their most valuable trade piece in terms of people they want to shop. It's him, and then like maybe like what's his name, Beauchamp.
Marjan.
Yeah. He probably got some value. I know he ain't really produced like that, but
he's
gonna shop him around a little bit.
As we get further and further away from the DiVincenzo for Ibaka trade, it just looks worse.
That shit was garbage.
Like it was.
I wanted Ibaka too that season,
but
they just
couldn't even jump when they traded for him.
That whole like front office, like they've been making like terrible decisions ever since they let Brogdon go for nothing. Cause they could have easily just re-signed him.
Like that was literally one of the only picks they hit on too.
Yeah, they could have easily just re-signed him and still.
And then they had the Bledsoe years. They wasted the Giannis years, but with the Bledsoe shit, that shit was a terrible fucking fit.
But going off of the Brogdon stuff, like they let him walk, right? And then ever since then, they've been trying to search for that like secondary like ball handling guard. Like they put Grayson Allen in that role. Like they've been searching for that little secondary ball handling guard who's like efficient in what he do, can score in a multitude of ways, and then like defend. They've been looking for that, and those aren't common. So I don't understand why you just let him walk,
right?
And then expect
the
to
ones
get
that
it back.
are around in the league are expensive.
Exactly. And then
yeah,
I mean, I'm not. They probably not too mad about it because they want a chip after it. But it's like you could have been building something, but they decided not to, I guess. But yeah, I guess.
You ready to move on?
They got a lot of questions. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, shout out to the Heat though. Shout out JB. We already talked about him. Kyle, K-Love. Fucking what's the Martin brothers?
Caleb Martin.
Caleb. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, they. Shout out to the Heat, man. We about to talk about them again in a second, a little bit. So I don't want to say too much, but they handled their business, man. They went up 3-1 and then fuck around.
Let's go.
Moving on to the next one though.
Knicks Cavs.
Oh shit, yeah.
The series was
another
for me.
Another 4-1.
I was really hoping this was going to go to 7 or Cleveland was going to put up a fight, but playing 4-on-5 finally caught up to them. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do next season once they can start to out the rest of their roster. But as of right now, they are not ready to compete until they have a wing out there. And also, want to give a lot of props to the Knicks. They locked in this series. They got their offense and they got their stuff off on offense. They really keyed in on defense, made it very difficult for the guards and the bigs. Just all around an impressive series for the Knicks, and the type of thing you want to see going forward for them, especially if they're really trying to make this conference finals or even finals run. And one of the biggest pieces, and we'll touch on him a little later in the next series, is RJ Barrett playing well. That is going to be fundamental to their success later on down the stretch. And he had a couple good games to close out the series as well. That really impressed me.
Yeah, and I think it's important, not even for him, but him and Mitchell Robinson. Because Mitchell Robinson, we talked bad about him. Yeah, he was really good after like game 3. Obviously Jalen Brunson and Randall did, they're the all-stars of the team, so it's not too much to say there. But going to the Cavs, like you said, 4-on-5, Okoro, it's reports like a couple hours before we recorded this that they, trying to get him around.
Who's gonna bite on him though?
I don't even know because like he's young, but it's like what can he do?
He just ain't got no better, bro.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when he was coming out of Auburn, the question was like, elite defender, but is he going to be able to get the 3 ball up? And so far, he has not been able to consistently knock it down, and that's been really unfortunate because I really do think he would fit. If he could just get up to 38%, he would really fit what this team wants to do.
A lot of teams too. And I don't even want to sound like crazy, but it's been like this for high school for him. Like he's been this same player since high school. He ain't really had a shot. He's always been super athletic, decent defender. Like you said, if he could just, what's league average? 37, 36?
I think it's 36.
If he can get to that, I'm like, he's a starter on a lot of teams.
Because he started making his threes at the end of the season, didn't he?
Yeah, he was looking.
Yeah,
good.
He started heating up.
My other question, or not question, but it's like Okoro, like even if he like gets up to like 38%, I don't feel like he fits with like the roster, but I don't know if he could start or close on this team because they're giving up so much size at the guard positions. You can't give up size at the wing too. I don't feel like you can do that because he's only 6'5", and he don't look big.
Really?
Yeah, he's only 6'5".
Who, Isaac Okoro?
Yeah.
That's
so, like,
crazy.
I feel like
That's crazy. That dude's taller than him.
Yeah, I feel like if they want to, I don't know, get the most out they like roster, they need like an actual like. They need like
a bigger forward.
Yeah, a wing size, like a real wing size forward. If they want
the real shame is like when you look at the free agency class, the only guys that fit that description is like Harrison Barnes, and he's probably going back to Sacramento. And I don't know,
even then, I don't even know if you want him.
Like, do you want those 2 guys?
No.
I'd rather just keep my options open for next season or the off season after that.
Basically.
I think they're going to end up going into the season with Okoro still on the roster. I don't think they're going to be able to get anything done with him. They don't have very much draft capital because they spent a lot of it to get Mitchell. I think free agency is going to be big for them. The kind of around the perimeter guy, the 7th man, the 8th man, those type of guys to fill out the roster because their starting 4 out of 5 is solid.
They gotta.
I don't know. I got some questions about them, the big guys down there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They gotta. They gotta one. They gotta one just get deeper this offseason. But 2, Evan Mobley. I'm gonna start with him because I don't even want to speak on Jared Allen. But Evan Mobley.
No, I feel like Jared Allen kind of takes away from like what Evan Mobley like does. Like he just. Like Evan Mobley is talented, but he's not. I don't know about the whole 2 bigs. Like I feel like it's kind of. I like Evan Mobley.
It works.
Just Jared Allen be fucking it up to me.
It works defensively, but offensively, it don't allow Evan Mobley to grow. Because like when you on the block,
that's a perfect way to put it.
When you on the block and your man is right behind you, and then you have another. As soon as you step foot in the paint, they're gonna send two, or there's gonna be another big body right next to you as soon as you step foot in paint. It's like it's hard to get off offensively, so I don't understand how they expect him to grow into like the KG potential if you
Or
don't
even
have
Chris
like
Bosh.
base.
A lot of people say Chris Bosh.
I think the
You
Knicks
don't.
series was like a perfect example of why there may be questions going forward with those two in the front court, with how the Knicks, and obviously we know the Knicks like to help off a lot. It's a big piece of their defense, but they were able to disrupt Mobley's post work because of how densely packed the paint was. And the Cavs couldn't even take advantage of that by getting boards. They were getting out rebounded as well.
Yep. And then
So maybe Barrett's the guy that's on his way out.
yeah, maybe, but also they couldn't do nothing because the person they was helping off Allen, and then they was helping off corner with whoever that third guy was, and so like they can't even hit the third guy to hit the three because he wasn't hitting. CD or Isaac Okoro, they weren't hitting, so they could help off cleanly and pinch on Jared Allen, and then they could also help off Jared Allen, and so like it's just like it's like a lot of like spacing problems that they got to figure out because it affected everybody on the team. Donovan Mitchell being the main person being affected, he shot like 5 for 21. Like
much harder for him to get to his spots when there's all that traffic in the paint as well.
Going back to the spacing too, I do think it is just a lot. It's interesting because like we talking about the spacing, and they just traded that nigga Larry Marketing off season ago.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was like he wasn't an all-star like he is now, but right now I'd rather have a starting lineup of Mobley at center and Marketing at the 4 than what they have right now, because the niggas is like they're Mobley and Allen they're guarding each other. So basically, they got to get that shit figured out.
But was that even like a trade option? Was Jared Allen a trade option to get Donovan Mitchell? Was that even a part of the thing?
I doubt
what
it.
You mean?
But
are you saying like could they give him up?
Donovan trade and keep Laurie and send out Jarrett instead? That would have been amazing.
I thought it was either they send out Colin Sexton and Laurie, or they send out Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, and then they was gonna get and keep Laurie Markkinen. But I don't know. I think they probably made the right choice, but
they just got some hard work to do with this roster now.
Yeah.
Now that
they gotta. I don't know if I believe in that front office to be able to build to like finish.
I mean, they got this far, shit. They got this. I mean, it's the first time they've been even back to the playoffs without LeBron since
early 90s.
Damn near the history of the franchise. So
yeah.
So they doing something right. I think you just got to look at both the guards, and I think we know who Donovan Mitchell is in the playoffs. I think this is really the first time in his career where he's had like some really bad games in the postseason. I feel like I don't remember him ever playing this bad.
He has some bad games in this series, but this is definitely the worst. Like all around.
Yeah, for sure. This was Garland's first time in the playoffs too, so I think you don't want to give him cut him too much slack, but you got to give him a little bit of time. I don't think he's a player who's just gonna get in the playoffs and just immediately raise his game. I don't think he's that level of player.
I think he was.
But I think you got a lot to grow off of, though. Yeah, that game 4 or 3, he definitely had that coming out game for sure.
Yeah,
but you got a lot of shit to build off of.
Yeah, it's a lot of positives. It's way more positives than it is negatives.
Yeah,
and it's just
only talking shit because they lost.
Basically, and there's also like it's just a huge gap from where they are to championship level, but they get in there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is good to remember that this is their first season together as a squad. Because I definitely think they won 50 games this year.
Something like that.
Some around there.
In my mind, they overachieved. This is still a very good season. I think you can hang your hat on the fact that they played very well, but there's still a long way to go. And again, props to the Knicks for busting their ass because I did not expect.
Hell yeah, especially on that
yeah.
defensive end, bro. They showed out.
Let me apologize to Mitchell Robinson because I called you a bum last podcast, but you proved me wrong.
We can move on to the. Well, I'll take us out. We could move on to the fucking Sixers and I mean, what the fuck did I say? Sixers and Nets. We could make that shit quick though. I had a lot of fun watching this series. I said that last episode. I said I wish this bitch went 7. The games were blowouts, but they were like fun, weird ass blowouts. Especially game 4. Game 4 was the one it was a home game and it was close as hell and they just couldn't pull it out. I feel like it was a fun series, like I said. I think, again, Brooklyn has some things to build off of, just like the Cavs. It's definitely less than the Cavs has, but you also got to question some of these players like Dinwiddie, goddamn, the fake shooters they have from Joe Harris all the way down to Royce O'Neal. Him too. He's been ass. And shout out to the Sixers. They handled business hard and did what he had to do. Maxey was fucking great. And B went down, but he was good for the amount of doubles he was seeing. Shout out Mikal, Clax, and Cam for the Nets, and that's really all I got on this one. Great, fun series though.
Oh yeah, James Harden had me worried before for this Celtics series. He had me a little bit worried because I was concerned about the shooting. His mid ranges, I think he shot like 13% in the whole series from mid range. But yeah, that's all I had to say. He looked good enough.
Everything. I'm really excited to see Brooklyn's future. They got a lot of good building blocks as well. Like you say, Cam, Mikal, Clax. Like that's a good front court core. Just building for the future. I wonder where they're going because there are a lot of teams in the pecking order of the East that I assume are going to be there for a while ahead of them at the moment. And I just wonder how they're going to go about navigating through the East.
Yeah, they got to get some star power over there for sure. I think as a fan, like if I was a Nets fan, you kind of want Mikal to be that, but just off the way he scores, he's not going to be no like number one, lead you to the playoffs every year. So I don't know if it's a trade, a signing, but they got to get like a star to get them to that level every year.
They got multiple ways they could go with it. If they do decide to compete or just compete for championships and stuff like that, they got to understand that their guys aren't young, so they got to speed that process up. But if they do decide to trade it all away, get some picks, leverage their future or whatever, they could make some plays too. But they did a good job blowing up that the Nets little.
Yeah, they made that shit quick. They ain't even draw it out. Get that shit over with.
They blew that shit up at the right time because that team wasn't going nowhere.
I still think the craziest thing is that they blew it up and nobody was able to pass them in seeding.
Yeah, man,
like that was probably.
Y'all know who I got to say, bro. That shit was sad.
And it ended up working out for Miami specifically because they won their first round series.
Yeah.
But like I thought Miami was going to jump up into that spot.
A lot of teams. I thought that shit was just terrible. The Bulls, the Hawks, the fucking Heat, the Pacers was hot for a little. I didn't expect them to get as far as the Nets was, but the East just shit themselves, man.
Yeah,
it's a garbage ass conference.
The bottom 8 teams look really bad, but like bottom 8, yeah, bottom 8. They all look bad, but shit, they here now, I guess.
Yeah, they did what they got to do. That was a sweep though. Another series that was kind of. It went 6, but it felt like fucking 3. Celtics Hawks. Not a whole lot to say. We our prediction was what everybody said. I think we all said a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all said a sweep. It kind of felt like one. They took the 2 games. I don't think anybody really.
No, I said 5.
Was scared.
I said Trae Young was gonna have a Trae Young game. I think I did.
Yeah, you did. No, you did. That's right.
But yeah, the game happened. He got himself a game, so then they was talking about they was gonna come back the whole way. I don't know about that. I wasn't really believing that, but the Hawks, Trae Young is definitely your guy, I think. But it just be hard to build around those offensive engines when they're not locked in on defense. Cause like
And it's not, and it's another thing with him. It's not even that he's not locked in, because I feel like even if he was, I cannot believe in a guard that's 5'11" to be my best player on the franchise, like a championship team. I can't get behind it.
I think it's possible, but like we kind of were referencing last week, is there is a type of roster you have to build around a guy like Trae Young to be a finals contender. And the question is it better to cash in on him as an asset now and try to build your team a different way, or try to continue to build your team specifically around Trae Young? Because the question on if he's good or not, or if he's elite or not, that's not a question, right? It's his specific skill set.
We know who he is.
Is that something that you want to build around for the next X amount of years?
Me personally,
it's a real question they got to have too, especially this offseason.
Yeah, me personally though, I'm not building around it. I'm good. I just don't like. It's very hard to scheme around your best player. He gotta try his hardest just to not be a negative on defense, and then offensively, he gotta take some really tough shots in order to get easier ones. But you gotta get They thought DeJounte Murray was gonna be their second star.
They traded.
He's not.
His guard.
Yeah.
They got Derek White.
He's just not your second star. That's not. And then you gotta everybody else on the team gotta be basically elite on defense to cover for Trae. But
they needed everything from Double O, bro. They needed. He was trying everything.
But I feel like they gotta I feel like they should just stop I'm not saying they should like tank or whatever, but they gotta stop with the like get Clint Capella off the team. Like, what is he doing there? Cause like he's good. He's a solid like big, but like you got younger guys. Like they should move more into their younger guys and hope they could find something there. Cause they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think they got to look more into, like you said, the young guys, but specifically Jalen Johnson. He was at the end of the season and a little bit in the playoffs. I think he can be a productive player for them.
Yeah, he gonna be good. Like he's 6'9", 7-foot wingspan. Like he's long. He got something a little bit offensively. AJ Griffin, he's a rookie this year.
He was getting DMPs for no reason.
But like, yeah, you gotta play him. You gotta leverage your younger guys. Cause I get y'all trying to make a playoff push, but y'all was the 9. No, they was like this.
They was 8 seed.
They was the 8 seed. So I don't get I get what that y'all gotta.
No lie, they were the 7. My bad.
Yeah, there was something. I get that y'all trying to make playoff push, but like y'all gotta work with the young guys. I feel like you gotta get off John Collins right now, because like his value is only going down. He's not very good. I don't think he's not good for this roster. I feel like he could be a very productive player on different rosters. But
that's tough though, because you got to look at the guard. Like I feel like if he's not going to be good with this team, he has nowhere else to be good at, because he's just a lob threat, and you have the best lob passer in the league. I mean, what else does he do?
His role right now is to be like a catch and shooter / pick and roll / like he's like doing like a lot, and I feel like his role got to be simplified to just hustle, play some defense, rebound, catch some lobs, and shoot a few threes. Like I feel like his like they was asking him to go like ISO, post up.
Yeah, especially at the elbow, bro. It was bad. They used to elbow him all the time.
That's not his body. Like he's not. He did that for like 1 year well, and that's why he got paid. But you gotta get off of him. And then y'all traded for Sadiq Bey. They was like he was getting like 24 minutes a game, and he was one of their more productive players in the playoffs. So I didn't get that. And he's like actually good. He got an offensive game where he don't gotta rely on Trae Young to force feed him buckets. I get that y'all like the little they can go small ball with John Collins, but they don't. So I just don't get I just don't get having him. Onyeka got to play more. Like he should have been in the starting lineup over Clint Capella, regardless of
He's
like
their
after
best big to me.
yeah after that
Super
2021 run,
versatile too, bro. He can switch.
like he can be an elite player for y'all. I feel like they just gotta lean more into that bench. And I understand they had a coaching change. Quinn, I believe in Quinn Snyder as a coach. I like him. Uh, and I understand there was a coaching change halfway through the season, but he gotta look more at his younger guys and play them.
And I
'Cause it's
definitely
not
think that'll be something that they look towards this offseason when they stop and reevaluate the roster, because they cannot continue to go on like this.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be the same result every year.
for contract too, I think.
you said what?
Any more thoughts on this series?
Nah, that's it, man.
Let's go
Celtics
Nuggets.
handle business.
Let's go Nuggets. T-Wolves.
My guys, man, I was riding with the Wolves, bro. I was riding with the T-Wolves. I swear to God, if they had the McDaniels brother, I don't know which one it is, they would have won. That's what I have to say.
I think it would have won 6 instead of 5 if they was fully healthy.
If they was healthy, I could see how they could have won that series. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel because Cat. I don't know. I understand he was coming back from injury, but I don't think he's a part of the. I don't think he should be a part of the plans for the future. To be honest with you, he just don't fit.
I think he's
At least that's
most assets out of tradable players on their team as well.
yeah, and at least that's how I feel about him. I don't feel like he just fits with what they got going on. I understand, like in theory, like he's a stretch big who could shoot the lights out. He could attack closeouts, all that. He was at one point he was like a 26 a game scorer, but after that little Achilles gear or whatever he had going on,
it was like partially torn or some crazy shit.
yeah, I don't like he looked way different. I understand it's soon after injury and all that, but I don't know. I understand.
So you don't think Cat a part of the future plans?
I don't feel like he should be. If you want,
I think there's an avenue where he still is, but
I think
he cannot be a part of this future playing power forward for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. That's just not a good fit at all.
So either him or Gobert, and you just gave up all those assets to get Gobert. I feel like you could make a deal, pivot, trade Cat, keep the team that you have the return for Karl Anthony Towns, and then continue to build as a roster.
I think that Cat is like, I kind of get what y'all saying, but I feel like he's a part of the plans to me because he's super talented. I mean, first of all, you already talked about the 3-point shooting shit. Like he's a high 20-point per game scorer. I think he just has to be the 2. I think Anthony Edwards, like especially after these last 2 postseason, seasons they had, he's proven that he's the best player. And I think when they kind of get all the way into that, I think that's when you see them kind of get the next level. Because I think sometimes they still run through Cat all the time, like he's the one. And I think that Anthony Edwards, he treats himself like the best player. He defends like the best player. Like he does everything you would want in the best player. He takes all the assignments. He hits the big shots. He'll take the big shots. I think that you just have to, as a team, realize that he's that. Put Karl at the 2. And I think you got a talented ass duo if you just have, that order in place.
For sure. And that really harkens back to last offseason. They had a good team last year. They would have been in a better spot had they just held on to the assets they had. They would have Walker Kessler backing up Cat. They would still have Malik Beasley. They'd still have Vando.
But they also, that roster also had like a lot of problems. I understand why they
I think there was a better pivot trade than Gobert is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you probably could have got more out of it than Rudy Gobert, but I understand why they made
I think they
the
just
trade.
kind of bit on it too early, bro. Like the name just sounded so good.
But it was also like they probably thought they could make like a deep playoff run this year if they just believed in what was going on. Because they know that in the playoffs it was hard to have Vando on the court because he be standing in the corner. Cat would post up and then he would cut right down to the little dunker spot, and it's usually a good move, but the opponent don't respect his three, so they already double teaming Cat, and Cat looked terrible because of it. So they thought they could just get off that and look better. But I don't feel like that trade was as bad as people like to say it is.
It's not. I think Rudy brought a lot of value to that team. I think it just gets overshadowed because he does so much that's like he does a lot of the stuff he does you're not always gonna see that's like good. But when he misses a wide open layup, when he misses a lob, when he takes a post fade with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, you're gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's gonna know that part. But I think he's really good on defense. I think that's a known fact. It's just, like I said, you always gonna see the bad more than the good with him.
That's just kind of the nature of the beast, watching or consuming sports online or just through the media in general. And I guess before we finish off this series, just want to say a couple of things about the Nuggets. Executed really well. Defense looked good. Jamal Murray went off in a few games.
Porter too. Michael MPJ did too.
And also, shout out to Christian Braun. Did not play as much as I thought he was going to in the regular season, but he has been getting minutes in the postseason. He's been pretty solid.
That's what you want from them type of players, man. Just step up.
And I thought that was a nice development for them because he's probably going to play some pretty decent minutes next season.
Yeah, they handle business though.
Yeah, they definitely did that. But I feel like it's weird to say, but like they're kind of like, I don't want to say underdogs, but like it's just like they're kind of.
No, they are, because I don't even believe in that team.
They like the dark horse to win the whole thing, and
they're the 1 seed.
Yeah, like that's it's just weird. Like it's weird to think about that. But yeah, Jamal Murray, I thought he was fake, but he's clearly real.
Nah, that nigga Rolex definitely real, man.
Everybody from that bubble except TJ Warren and who else? I guess
is Tyler Herro on that list?
Man,
nah,
he's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, everybody who was in that bubble who was real is real now. So I guess so. It's just sad, man. The Nuggets.
If they win a ring, that should be. It's gonna be a lot of interesting topics during the summertime.
That'd be fun. I'd love to see them in the finals, especially if it's against like Boston. I think the matchups and potential stuff would be really interesting.
I want to see them against Philly.
Philly? That would be also great.
Embiid, yeah.
But more so Harden versus Murray, and that's gonna be fire.
I didn't even think about that.
It's Harden versus Murray. Hell no. That's a funny ass fucking combo.
They go find a way to hijack that series, bro. That shit gonna be amazing. But yeah, that's enough.
Y'all want to go? Well, I'm gonna ask you, Tough. You want to end with the Clippers, or you want to go with the Clippers now and then end with the Kings series?
We can just go with the Clippers now, cause
Okay, you can go ahead and say what you got to say about that. Ending of that series.
So the Clippers actually look really good throughout the series. They started off game 1, Kawhi with a masterpiece. Puts them up 1-0. They try to steal game 2, but the 5 guard lineup kind of it brought them back, but it didn't finish. I don't know. That was them 5 guard lineups was it didn't really help out. Game 3, Kawhi is out for the rest of the postseason. Paul George being Paul George. Clippers, they still look good. Like they could have easily won game 3, 4, 5 if a few calls go their way. If they get lucky a little bit. Russ look like his prime self. I'm not mad at the coaching, not really. Cause the more you look at it, the pieces just wasn't there, so I can't be mad at the coaching. But I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of things where it's like maybe you gotta blow up Kawhi and PG right now. I mean, this would be the time.
I think you definitely got to question it.
I think they're gonna let it run for at least one more year.
Yeah, they probably gonna ride it out this year. But you gotta think like if you're gonna blow it up. Paul George, he weak as hell.
You ready for game 9, Paul George?
Huh?
You ready for game 9, Paul George?
Bruh, he weak as hell for all them quotes he started putting on at the end of the series. Cause like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah, he trolled you niggas.
Bro, before game 3, he get on his podcast in the intro, he say, "Game 3, I'm back, baby." He say that. And then it come to find out, he not even cleared to play until May 3rd.
Podcast P, lady.
Which will be today. Hell, that shit is crazy.
He pissed me off with that shit, talking about some if my guys can extend the series, I'm ready to lace them up. Like it's game 5. Them boys was down like 10 at halftime. You talking about something you ready to lace them up, bro?
I think more than anything, though, you got to be a little bit frustrated with the front office, or like I don't know if it's the front office or whoever handled that Kawhi situation the way they did, got to be like put in question for their job, because playing game 1, coming out like that, and then miss game 2, miss the rest of the series, and then have a torn meniscus, like it don't even make sense.
Kawhi played game 1, he got hurt in game 1, and then he played game 2, had 38, and then he was trying to play game 3, and they sat him, and then they made it sound like it wasn't a big injury. Like I understand you could play
right, like he was low managing.
Yeah.
They handled it terribly.
He ends up looking really bad in the media. Kawhi, there's reports that Kawhi's upset or whatever at the Clippers staff or whatever. And I'm just like what are we doing, bruh? And then Lawrence Frank do not need to be the Clippers executive GM anymore. Like I really hope that the Warriors flame out and Bob Myers leaves. But Lawrence Frank is he hasn't done anything in this 2-3 era, because he gets Kawhi, he wins executive of the year. And then the next year they start saying they start building basically. They get some pieces, like they get well, they already had their pieces, but they continue the pieces that they got in the previous year look really good the next year. And then going into 22 and 23, it's all like falling apart, like especially this year, because they got Isaiah Hartenstein in 2022 for nothing.
Did they get Norman Powell this year or last year?
That was last year. It was, I told you, 2022
okay.
They built something that was really good, and in 2023 they just let it fall apart because they got Isaiah Hartenstein last year for nothing. He says he wants to re-sign for the mid-level exception, but instead of being like, oh, we want to pay one of the best backup bigs in the league a mid-level exception, which is nothing, we give the whole mid-level exception to John Wall, who
they didn't even use, bro.
He played 34 games and is out the league. We could have had one of the best backup bigs in the league, but instead we got John Wall for 34 games. John Wall looks absolutely terrible. We have Reggie Jackson, who after the 2021 run, I feel like they should have sold high on him. I don't know who was gonna buy him, but they should have tried to like get something out of that. Cause you was expecting him to come back the next 2 years, be 50, 40, 90, and be a bailout option for 2 and 3 for the next 3 years while he's 33 years old. Like I didn't get that. They let him just marinate and do absolutely nothing. Marcus Morris, outside of when he was shooting 50% from three, has looked terrible. And they keep running goddamn post ups to that man. He don't play defense, and you don't really get much out of him if he's not shooting 50% from three. So this year, when he went from 40% all the way down to 30% by the end of the season from three. And you keep playing him minutes, and you have
Tyloo, that was a bad decision, bro. Because he came out and said, "Yeah, Marcus is gonna play over Batum." I mean, Batum was fucking ass, so I'm not really gonna
I
argue
was
too
gonna
much.
get on him next. The next fan favorite, Nick Batum, he just was like he's a better option than Marcus Morris. So you look at him, you're just like, oh yeah, clearly like they was plus he had positive minutes because he wasn't Marcus Morris. That was literally why. But he's just old now. Like his knees are done. You playing him heavy minutes throughout the season, that's not gonna work.
They still be asking him to defend too. It's a lot on that.
Yeah, like he's getting asked to do a lot, and he's too old to be doing that for a whole 82 games. And then you have a third guy, Robert Covington, who could have shouldered all the minutes so that these boys is healthy come playoffs. But no, you decide not to. He don't even play in the playoffs. Every single time he gets minutes, he looks really good. So I just don't. He's clearly upset on the sidelines, and they handled that really poorly. And then Lawrence Frank, he did absolutely nothing to move away from Marcus Morris at the trade deadline, because Marcus Morris has been requesting a trade for the past 3 years. So they did nothing. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, it's been inside the organization. Like it hasn't come out. Like it's been one of those things. Like it's been like the NFL. Like he requested a trade the way like NFL players do. Like it don't come out. He just did it.
He requests a trade, and then like every trade deadline, he'll post some shit like, "Oh, I hope I get to play with my brother" or something.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And then, but yeah, he's basically. I think he did publicly request a trade in like 2020. Before he was really getting heavy minutes in like 2021, I think he did publicly request a trade. But yeah, even like you didn't move off Marcus Morris during the trade deadline. I feel like you should have, even regardless of wanting Tyloo not to play him. Like you don't have much else to play, is what I've realized. They handled Terrence Mann's development really poorly this year. I get that he's not really a young guy anymore, but like he should have been starting the whole year, because when he starts, he looked really good. The numbers back it up. He should have been playing a lot more.
Yeah, y'all a lot of good minutes in them in this series for sure.
Exactly, and then like
want me some damn money too. That's my boy. I got love to you, man.
Man, and then like, but anyways, I'm just ranting about the Clippers now. But yeah, Paul George, you fake as hell. You weak.
But do you think, as a fan, do you think you got to trade either of them this year, offseason?
Me personally, I wouldn't, because you're not going to, like, I don't want to.
I think you're not going to get too much. Their value is kind of like in the gutter.
I mean, you are going to get something because it's still Kawhi and Paul George.
Right. Like, I'm just talking about the injury for both of them.
Yeah, it's injury concerns and all that, but like, me personally, I'm not trading them because I want to watch at least my team fake compete, you know? Like, I know, like, if we are healthy, if the Clippers are healthy, they got a chance at winning a chip. Like, I know that. But
I think that's what they're banking on. Just hoping that one of these seasons it could just break right for health, and they can just fly to the finals.
but they also gotta move in that direction. Like you can't have a team full of 33-plus-year-olds and
Mhm.
hope
That's what
they're
I'm
gonna be
saying. though. That's
healthy.
why I say, should you look into trading? Because it's gonna start getting tough. Like Batum's been there for a while. He's been one of their guys for a while, and he's not going. I don't think if you bring him back next season and ask him to do what you did this season, he's not going to produce. I think, like you said, Marcus Morris, he's been bad for a couple years now. You got to look at Russ, and Russ played great basketball. Like I know you didn't get to that part. Yeah, I don't know if he was, but he played great basketball. But do you really think Russ can do that for a whole season? I'm not going. I'm a
The
Russ
Clippers,
fan. Like I like Russ, so I'm not gonna say he can't. But if
the Clippers have a
Kawhi and
lot of
PG gonna be out, can he hold them games and hold that team together? I think it's just gonna
Clippers.
be tough
The Clippers
for them to
freed up
do
a
all
lot of
that.
money at that trade deadline. Like they don't have to. They don't have to pay Mason Plumlee. They don't have to pay Eric Gordon. They don't have to play. They have some wiggle room. This free agency. It's just like, what are they gonna do with it? And depending on what they do, it could really like what they need right now is youth to just get them through the season. They also
And
would like.
they missed on a lot of them young guys too, because Boston and Jason Preston, they have to suck because they didn't get no burn.
Mhm.
Jason Preston's
Especially
bad.
Brandon Boston. I thought he was gonna get in like just a little bit.
I feel like the problem is like we don't know if Brandon Boston is like actually ass or if he's just like because like every time he go down to the G League he dropping 50, but then when he come back up it's just he
He
don't
just
play.
don't play.
So it's like I don't feel like he ass. It's just like he don't play. That's it. Like, and I don't know where you slot him in, but you gotta at least try him. Uh, but the Clippers suck at developing their young guys, other than like Terrence Mann and Zubac. But
Terrence
those
Mann,
are
FSU made, they come in the league ready, man, except Patrick Williams.
Terrence Mann did not come in the league ready, but he got there quick.
That was a real bad trade. I'm thinking
Which
back to
one?
the Zubac trade for the Lakers. That
Yeah,
was a
they
that was
traded
What was it?
Mike Muscala, I think,
That's who they got for him. And
and
he
then
played
they
like
gave
30 games, shot like ass, and then left.
uh, yeah, shout out Zubac, man. Shout out Zoo. Shout out Russ. Shout out T Man. Uh, shout out Kawhi for them for that one game or them 2 games. Uh, Zoo is he gonna be a perennial defensive player of the year candidate. I feel like
He just don't got the name for it, I feel like.
he really don't, because even when he was putting up them crazy when he had them crazy metrics and all that, nobody really cared.
Yeah.
So and they also got to be a top 2 seed basically to.
What was out of 4 or 5 seed this year?
Yeah, 5 seed,
5 seed.
and it was barely that. So
Shout out Norm
yeah,
too, man. He
yeah.
played
Shout
some of
out
the best
Norm.
I've ever seen him play.
I hope next year. Like I love Norm, but I don't know. I feel like they got to make some trades. They got to make some plays. Hopefully, get younger, and then
Is there a
prepare
player
for
you
next
have
year.
in mind?
Damn, I feel like I did, but the obvious one is John Collins. You see that, but Cam Johnson. I don't think he Cam Johnson, John Collins. Uh, I don't know if Tyus Jones is this year or next
It's
year.
next year, I think.
Next year, damn. I don't know. It's just it's just a bunch of people they got to look at. I think Josh Richardson would be a good player on the Clippers, but I don't know exactly just yet because the offseason hasn't started. I don't know what the free agents are. Uh, I don't know what to say about the Clippers,
Around to sign Dylan Brooks, call it an off season.
I feel like they might because they love trying. They love trying to make guys look better.
Yeah. Shout out to the Suns though, man.
They handle business.
I can't even say they really handled it because it was down to the wire just about every game, but
Yeah.
They got a lot of good minutes from Torrey Craig. I mean, KD and Book, especially Book. Book was he showed his ass. Didn't really get too much from Chris Paul, but you know they won. I think that's just the most important thing.
But also I gotta say, the Suns are fake. Like
Yeah, fake as hell.
like the 56, like, or not 56, like 70 2-point attempts a game, and it's none of them are really layups. It's just like
All middies.
long twos, and it's just like it's not why are you shooting these. It's like, why is this the first? Like, I feel like a mid range is like a counter. Like, you trying to get to the rim, boom, they giving you the midi, shoot it. They seek out the midi. They make them at a high clip, but it's also like, if the other team makes like 30-something% of their threes, they gonna match that little autumn high percentage, autumn 2-pointers. And it's like, I'm watching Torrey Craig hit step back middies, Chris Paul hunting the damn elbow midi, DeAndre Ayton shooting that little weak ass floater from the free throw line. It's like, why? It's not why are you doing this, but it's like, y'all can do better. I promise y'all can.
They need to get deeper too, man. I think that's the most important thing to me because I think with the way they play, it's like Book and KD, Chris Paul, like they not gonna go away from the mid range. It's not that shit is not happening. They've been in the league for too long for them to just switch it up. But Book still don't want to shoot threes like that. I think you need a bunch of guys, not a bunch, but a few more Torrey Craigs who can just come in and play these shoot threes. I think you need one guy off the bench who can create off the bounce, and another guy who can just come in for defense. And I think you have a good team. Because right now, like, when Biyombo comes in, he does nothing. When Jake Londell comes in, he does nothing. When Damian Lee comes in, he can shoot, but he doesn't defend. When Karen Payne comes in, he does nothing. When fucking Josh Cody comes in, he does nothing. Like, they just have too much of that on that team. And if they can
It's
just
it's
get
like
a little bit deeper, that'd be all right.
I don't know how you improve the roster though, because you got like Chris Paul got like damn near a max. DeAndre Ayton got damn near a max.
I mean, guys want to come in and sign for the minimum. We see it all the time with them, like with the super team, or not super team, but
Good players
you know
not signing for no damn minimum for the
I
Suns,
swear
bro.
to the Suns with KD them, I think you can get a few.
Bro. No, you gonna get what? I was gonna say you're gonna get them Jeff Greens, but Jeff Green actually good. You gonna get
take Jeff Green.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get. You're gonna get a bunch of old ass people. Like, you're gonna get like Marcus Morris's and shit. And do you want that?
I promise they'll take Marcus Morris. I'm not a fan, so I don't care what they do. But if I was a Suns fan, I'd take Marcus Morris just because he can fake shoot the ball, and he can get a bucket off the bounce. Like the idea is there. Like he may not do it all the time, but like when you think of Marcus, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's like, I don't know how you move forward because you got so much money tied up in old players, or not even old players, but players who don't really
do anything.
Yeah, they don't really work like well together. Cause like, what does Chris Paul do when you on the court with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker? Like, what are you asking him to do? It's not like he's going to defend at a high level. He's old as shit.
And it's tough for him too because they ask him to do a lot of catch and shoot, and he's never been like crazy off the catch and shoot, but it's bad now. Like when KD's at the top of the key or that elbow, and he's and Chris is sitting in the corner, and he make that skip, it's like you don't really trust that shot. Everything is, and it's coming to him a lot. He just can't knock it down. So I think they're gonna have a tough time with the Nuggets though, already down to it.
It's like, I understand like what does Chris Paul do when he's off ball? Like, and then what does he do when like he don't create looks for Devin Booker and KD? Like, he don't got that kind of leverage no more. So I don't understand. I don't think he in their future plans after this year. He shouldn't be.
I think they could stand to benefit from moving on from him and trying to get a cheaper point guard and possibly fill out their depth. I think the question is going to be who is taking on Chris Paul and who's going to give you something meaningful in return for him. I don't know what team that is. But best of luck to Phoenix in trying to find them this offseason.
Yeah, because they got it done though. They got the first round. That's a step.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Are ready to move on to the next series?
Yeah. That's one I think.
Lakers, Grizz, and then we got Kings, Warriors.
Okay.
Oh damn.
Getting to that second round gonna be tough. If we're gonna talk about them, but who we gonna start with? Lakers or
start with the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, I don't feel like they look bad. They just look beat up towards the end because you got to understand they miss Ja got hurt his hand. They got natural just wear and tear from the season. I think JJJ coming off an injury. I don't want to make excuses for them, but Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, they actual big guys were hurt.
He was a huge part of their team too.
He freed up a lot of them just off of screens because he lead the league in screen assists every year.
Brandon Clark?
Not Brandon Clark. Steven Adams.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, I know that.
But he's necessary for Desmond Bane to operate in the pick and roll basically because he's the most comfortable pick and roll target. But yeah, Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, they both hurt. They competed. I feel like they could have actually won this series if Luke Kennard stayed healthy, because he was very positive in all the minutes he got, and they was actually starting to play him more over Dylan Brooks.
He was playing good defense as well, not just shooting the ball.
He's been playing good defense this whole year. I want to clear that up because some Clippers fans think that Luke Kennard don't be playing defense, and he's a very capable defender. I wouldn't say he's like locked down or nothing like that, but he's engaged. He's also 6'5", and he's long. Like, I don't understand why just because he's white don't mean he can't play defense.
That's what it is. He a white sharpshooter. They never play defense.
But Luke Kennard can actually defend when he locks in, and he was locked in.
Yeah.
Or what Lakers business too. That was nice to see.
For sure. Yeah, because I was surprised. I thought they were going to draw this out after the way Game 5 went and the way they ended it. I thought it was going to go 7 for sure, but they went at home. It was home game. Was it Game 6?
Took care of business.
Right, they were at home and shut them out. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, nobody on the Grizzlies got going at all.
That's definitely a statement win.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Led into that next series too.
Yeah, let's go Kings Warriors. Finish up this first round then.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about how Dylan Brooks is sorry. Okay.
I thought ain't too much to say, bro.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to put that in there. Dylan Brooks.
He my favorite player though. I love that little dance. I know you got to do a TikTok for that little dance, bro. He be going crazy with the TikTok sound too. He got something with that.
Thank God for every rep. Yeah.
You know the crazy part? That song suck without the sped up. That song is terrible, bro. I listen to it, I'm like, damn. But this song is horrendously ass.
I'm sad, man. Dylan Brooks really just trash at basketball now, and
he's my favorite player too, man. I like Dylan Brooks.
He was so cool.
I hope he signed to a decent team so like he could be in the playoffs. Just not my team.
Not any of our teams. But Kings Warriors, man, this was easily the best series of the first round. Back and forth the whole way through, no blowouts. Well, actually, no, it was a game 6.
That was it.
But I mean, this is my prediction. I had Warriors in 7. I think that I really don't even like saying it, but their experience definitely showed at the end. in Game 7. I really hate saying that because I don't believe it's real most of the time, but the Kings just being young, man, they made a lot of young mistakes. I think that De'Aaron had his worst game in the game they needed him the most. I think you saw Sabonis struggle, who I really don't like Sabonis, but you saw him struggle. Again, his worst game of the series. Herter struggled. Like everybody just the team is so young and the vets didn't really do too much, so it was kind of just when Steph got that run going and they kind of popped it open, it wasn't really coming back from Game 7. I mean, from that 10-point lead they had, and Steph had that 50 ball. Can't really do too much with that.
An amazing performance from Steph in that Game 7.
Yeah, that was special.
I don't remember which game it was. I think it might have been Game 5 where he just dribbled around everybody.
And took up for N1.
Yeah, just
hey, please,
unreal
real
stuff.
Quick, bro. If you haven't watched it, bro, please go watch Flight React. React to that, bro. That might be the best YouTube video ever. Like that in Game 7, bro. Just please, that should be so funny. But yeah, shout out to the Warriors, man. Like we said, Steph, Looney, he's just been special for the last couple years in the playoffs.
Legacy. Juan Looney, 3 20 rebound games.
That's ridiculous. But I got some questions. Like, I think the Kings should have some questions for themselves.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, them two basically. They got a question like, do we want to just be in the playoffs? Like, is it cool to just be in the playoffs for the first time since the early 2000s, or do we want to actually compete? Because I don't know if I don't want to say Sabonis not able to compete, but like y'all got a formula.
I think it's just what I think the thing is with him, I don't remember who I saw explaining, but they broke it down really well. It's just he's basically solid at a lot of things. Like somewhat like Ben Simmons, somewhat, just a little bit. Like he can pass, he can create out the post, he can score in the post, he's physical, like he has like cool traits like when you just say them, but like when he gets in the game, you're not gonna give him the ball in the post. You're not
his lack of post.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that inability just to be able to dump it off to your big in the post and he can put on a move or two and get a bucket. It just wasn't there. And it hasn't really ever been there for Sabonis. That's just not really a part of his game. But I think if he's going to be a co-star with Fox on a team that's trying to make deep playoff runs in the future, he has got to. And at least those when he's doing DHOs and there's just nobody on him and the shooter's not there, he's got to get more comfortable with taking those mid-range jumpers at the elbow or like
the elbow jumping was there the entire again, like I said, there's someone like Ben Simmons, like he just wasn't looking at the basket when he was like
they letting him
not being guarded
comfortably. Like they was looking at him, look at the basket, look at his elbow, make sure it's all good, and put it up and brick. They was watching him do it, and they was letting him do it. I think like they just got questions like, do you want to continue forward with Sabonis and do you want to just continue forward with Sabonis, or do you want to like move off of that and venture somewhere else? Because I feel like after he's all NBA, he got, I think he was an All-Star too.
Yeah, he was a couple years ago.
You could move off of that and get something in return pretty easily, because I feel like next year it's gonna be they have a formula to win regular season games. Like they got that down, but so they probably gonna make the playoffs again. But it's like, do you just like, I don't see a way that they compete with Sabonis. Harrison Barnes gotta go. Simple as that. That man was trash the whole series. What's his name? Coach Mike Brown. He was actually like, he was dialing it up. This man was getting Harrison Barnes the most open looks ever, and that man was just not hitting. And it's like, do you even want to, like, you don't want to even try again with him, so you just got to get off of that. You got to find another wing, but you're in the playoffs, so you don't have the, like, if they was in like lottery or like top 10 picks, then I would be more comfortable with like the trajectory they're going at. But I feel like they just gonna end up being like the Pacers of the West.
I think there's going to be
it's stuck in the middle
about this team moving forward, and they're starting to reach the point where you're not bad enough to get those high lottery picks where, you know, you're getting good potential out of these guys. Their picks are going to start being in the anywhere from 17 to 27 range now. You got to start getting value on the picks on these guys. You know, Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, last couple years, obviously Tyrese Halliburton as well. That's what put him in this position in the first place. They've been hitting on picks as of recent. Got to continue to do that. Also, while we're here, Keegan Murray had after those, I think his first 2 games, had a fantastic series. Really started looking more like himself. You're going to need more of that.
And I think that's a big coaching thing too. I think that's when you see Mike Brown be a really good coach, because Keegan got pulled in those first couple of games because he was playing bad. But I think going back to him was really important just for his confidence, and he does a lot for that team.
Mm-hmm. And while we're talking about Mike Brown adjustments, I would be remiss to not mention the Trey Lyles at center minutes. And they worked.
Yeah, that worked.
It worked really well. And that's because of how aggressive Trey was playing. He was out there playing like he was 7-1.
Yeah. Oh, I also had something to say about that. Sabonis and Alex Len. Alex Len was actually giving them better minutes than Sabonis at points in time. So I don't think they don't need. Yeah, I'm just saying they don't need Sabonis to win games. I don't feel like, but they do need that second guy, and I don't think Keegan Murray is like he's gonna make that jump to be like a. I think he like a 16-point scorer, isn't he?
I think he was like 12.
Oh, he's like 12.
I definitely see the jump to 16 or 17 once he's able to do more. Probably going to be a more
off the bounce. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. He got a bright future.
Yeah, he got something in his bag, but they still got to look for that second star, cause you got Fox, and you got the other scoring. Like, their problem isn't scoring clearly, because they just the best offense, but like
they need some more find a second on the roster. If that makes sense. And I just don't know who that guy's going to be. Like, I would love like OG or Paul George on this team, but I don't know if that's going to happen, just because I think other teams are probably going to have better offers for those guys if they do become available. This is going to be a little rough for the Kings, but I like the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, it's a lot to be excited for. It's just like the Cavs, like we said with the Cavs. It's some questions that you have to, have about the team, but I think when you just look at what they have and what they did this season, making it this far, given a championship level team, like, put them on the ropes, I think you got a lot to be excited about as a fan, as the coach, GM, whatever. You just, as a player too, they should all be really excited for the season they had.
And you can always hang your hat on the fact that you won 48 games and pushed the defending champions to 7 games.
Yeah, that was the third seed this year. That's an accomplishment in itself. Yeah.
Any more thoughts on this series?
No, that's a perfect way to wrap it up.
All right. Y'all ready to get into the second
round? We could do it real quick. It's every game is on game 2 or 1, so it ain't gonna be too much to say.
How long have we been running for already?
I think like an hour and a half.
Y'all want to get back together on Friday because there's another game tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we could just do that then.
Okay, so we could wrap it up here.
I'll say no more. I'll outro us. Episode 8, season 2, episode 2, really episode 8 though. If you got this far, appreciate you. We are on Spotify, right? Yeah, we are on Spotify. Should just be, it's the same name, right? Everything.
Yeah, Hamptons 5 podcast.
Yeah, y'all go listen to it. I know it's a lot better to listen on Spotify than YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, like the video, y'all know what it is, man. Hamptons 5, we out though.